this morning I won't want to take your time, just 15 minutes chat with you, and I'll be back to my daily routine work. All right, this morning I want to discuss with you how I came about making my first 1 million naira. If you're interested, it's just a chat, a simple one, and it's not going to be a complex one at all, like I promised you. All right, this morning, like I said, I just want to share with you how I was able to make my a millionaire at first, just the first one. Simple secret. What did I do? All right, I've been working here. Of course, I told you before that I work with independent television. I am a media practitioner, and in the media practice you come across different kind of people, especially when you are in the political space. You have the opportunity to meet politicians and in the Nigerian space. But then I'm not talking about that side. I'm just talking about my own space, the security sector where I covered for my station. Like I told you yesterday, I told you yesterday that networking is the roadmap to most of the success you will want to achieve. Presently, networking is key to achieving success in today's world. Okay. Now, please, if you are joining this channel for the first time, please do well to put an emoji, a fire emoji, a love emoji, or any kind of emoji, so that I will know that you are following suit on this media chat. Okay. And if you are joining for the first time, if you've not subscribed, please help a brother by clicking the subscribe button and then like as well. Okay, and do well to share the channel. All right, just try and help your brother. Okay, help me by subscribing and liking. Okay, so back to the discussion this morning. Like I'm saying, how was I able to make a million naira, my first 1 million naira? Am I saying I'm a millionaire? No, but the first millionaire I was able to make. Okay, so we were invited to a coverage, and one of the coverage in our setting here in the security sector, of course. And then after the coverage, we left, and the second coverage we were invited again to come and cover the activity, a certain group of security experts like that. So we came for the coverage, and then the man that normally call us for the coverage um, offered that, okay, John, I've not been seeing you for a while now. Where have you been? I told you that, okay, sir, I've been around. I've not been anywhere. Just that anytime we're called for the coverage, maybe I'll be engaged with something else. So I will send in my second to help me go there and maybe cover such an event, give coverage to the event, and then come back to the office. And then we go about, you know, making news out of the coverage. Okay. So that fateful day, he offered to say, well, get my number, get my. I'm talking about a millionaire, all right, a millionaire saying I should get his contact. Please, where's your phone? Get my contact, get my contact. Please do well to send me the news or chat me up. Okay, I said okay. So I collected all your contact after for like 3 days after the coverage and the report was aired. I just felt okay. Oh, this man have given me his contact. Let me send him a hi. I just sent him a hi, and then forwarded the broadcasted version of that news that we covered that day. And then it took a day, took a whole day, because I'm talking about dealing with a millionaire. So that after sending him a WhatsApp message, it would take some days before he could respond to your message. So I think it took like a day or two, something like that, and then he finally responded to the message. I said, good, John. You now do me a thumbs up. I said, okay. I say, we are welcome, Your Excellency, because it's an ambassador, an ambassador. So he say, okay, you're welcome, Your Excellency. So okay, fine. John, let me reward you. Can you send me your account details? At that point, I said, okay, maybe normal. Okay, let me just see. Maybe he just want to appreciate me for, you know, the the work I've been doing. But man, I was shocked to what I received at the end of that conversation. Of course, talking about somebody who is a billionaire, you should expect what. But that aside, now let me move away from that. What is it that you are doing? What is your passion in doing what you're doing? What do you feel like? What do you love doing? That maybe you've been doing it for some time now and it seems not to be yielding, yielding result. What is that thing that you feel like, okay, you're doing and seem not to be yielding result and you want to give up? Let me tell you, don't want to give up. Right? The firm determination of a resolved soul is what produces a result at the end. I came into the media space in the year 2019, November to be precise, and a village, a local community from Ageragu to be precise, sorry, Garaku to be precise, in Nasarawa State, around Nasarawa State, like that. So I came in from Garaku to Abuja the first time, November 2019, before the COVID-19 era. So when I came in, I was just, from secondary school, from the university, done with my service, just came in, and then the naive nature of coming from a local environment to the city for the first time, to dwell and then start working with an organization called the Independent Television. There was this whole kind of uncertainty about my life. But I stayed for 3 months, just trying to get used to the Abuja setting, get used to people. Just relocated from Nasarawa to this area, and then you're trying to catch up, trying to try to get used to the city setting. How did I go about it? It was not easy, actually. Even my transportation money for my workplace to back to where I was squatting with someone, because when I came, there was no money to rent an apartment whatsoever. There was nothing. I squatted in that house for over a year, more than a year, from November to December 2020. I squatted in a house. But thank God for the man, Mr. Patrick. I'll be forever be grateful to Mr. Patrick here in Abuja. Received me, kept me for more than a year for me to find my feet. But within that 1 year, do you know that I never gave up? I never gave up on chasing my dream. I never gave up on my life. I never gave up on, I am going, whether I'm not going. But let me be very frank with you. Within the first 3 months, I had to go back to Agaraku, where I came from, because I was like, this city, everything is cost, transportation, the food. When you are coming from a rural area where the food is very cheap, and 200, 100 naira you eat, and you are fed. But coming to Abuja is a different story entirely. So I wanted to go back, but one thing that I knew about life is that I was mentored by someone. I was mentored by someone, my boss. Of course, we streamed with him here on Sunday. Is Taik Harata. He's a man that I will never forget his impact in my life. He says, "Keep doing what you are doing, Tena." All right. Somebody that changed when I first came to our Independent Television, he insisted that I'm not going to use my English name. I must go back to my root and attach a tribal name to my names, which is Tena. I was using John Henry. My name is Henry, actually. I was using John Henry. He says that no, you have to include a tribal name, like your dialect. You have a name. What is that name? I say it's Tena. I say, then call your name. Your name is John Tena, not John Henry that I was using. And actually, that identity has been key in my media profession. The name Tena, people began to fall in love with that name. But where am I going? I was going to a point where I could not give up. After 3 months, it was not easy for me living in Abuja, because I couldn't afford the rent. I couldn't afford some food, cooking, and then you not having your particular house or a particular apartment. You know how challenging it could be. So whatsoever that you get for the day, of course, you just have to make do with whatever you get. and then leave like that. Please, this is Smart Media. If you are joining for the first time, or if you're joining the conversation, please do well to like, drop an emoji, drop a love, fire, or any kind of emoji at all, so that I will be encouraged. Please encourage me by dropping a an emoji. Just drop one, a fire, a loved one. Just tap on it and let me know that you are following the conversation, okay? So that I will be encouraged. I need to be encouraged, all right? I know that I told you that I've been strong all this while, so please encourage me so that I will know that I'm not talking to myself, okay? So, like I was saying, I couldn't give up that first 3 months, but it was challenging. It was a challenging period. Sometimes, you know that sometimes I have to pass the night. Why? Not because I don't have where to go and sleep. I was feeling uncomfortable with me as grown up as I was, 20 something of age, going back to a man's house for over a year. It came to a certain point where I began to, okay, most time when I close late in the night duty, I just pass the night in the office. Okay, so imagine how challenging it has been for me in the year 2019, 2020 during the COVID period. In fact, during the COVID period, it was like kind of restriction of movement, not moving so that the virus would not spread according to a health professional. So I was just restricted within the office space. I was past the night before we followed the enforcement team. During that period, my boss, Mr. Ikorata, was in charge of the enforcement team. So early in the morning, they are calling us, okay, you are supposed to meet in the Eagle Square for the day's enforcement coverage. So most of the time I was passing. Please, if you are joining the channel for the first time, do well, or if you are following the conversation, do well to like or tap on the fire emoji. Let me know you are following the conversation so this morning, so I can be encouraged, so that I will know that I'm not talking to myself. Okay. All right. So like that, after the enforcement coverage for the day during the COVID-19 era, I will come back to the office, pass the night in the office, and get something to eat. But between that period, there was restriction of movement. So most of the things we will have to make end for the leave for the day was being given out to us by the FCT administration, like food, like water. So that within that period, I was not relying heavily on my daily income for food. So most food were being given to us by the government, by the administration, of course, the FCT administration, who takes charge of the administration of the Federal Capital Territory here in Abuja. Okay. So it was a very challenging moment, like I said, but I followed suit. And within that period, my phone was robbed of me by some persons here, but within that same period, I was able to recover my phone. How was I able to recover my phone? My boss and those who I followed for enforcement were able to gather money to give me and then get a new phone for me to continue the coverage, because it was very challenging not to have a phone at that point. But I spent like 2 months without a phone. I was just having like one of those small phones where I can pick call and they know where their location is for me to meet up with them. But after 2-3 months, I was able to get a phone. Okay, I was able to get a phone, and like that. So November 2019 to December 2020, I squatted with someone. I could not rent an apartment. It was after a year and some months that I was able to gather money from the daily, maybe daily income that I make from that time, and the kind of people that I meet within that time that I was able to gather my first 180,000 at that time for my first save con. Okay, so it was actually a challenging time for me, a very, very turbulent time for me, but I never give up. One thing I knew that will happen at the end is a light at the end of the tunnel, and people were so supporting my general manager at that time, my immediate boss, Mr. Ikarata, who I told you that helped me to get my first phone, phone. So it was actually a challenging time, like I said, but I never gave up. So I narrated my whole story, how I was able to cope with the first 3 months that I came to Abuja, so you could be encouraged not to give up. What are you passing through? You should set in, like I told you yesterday about networking. Gather, surround yourself with people who are ahead of you, people who can, you know, always get help. And I mean help, it must not be necessarily monetary help. It must be advice, maybe okay, putting you through something they have gone through, what you are going through, maybe they have passed through. There are most of the stories may be similar. They may not be exactly the same, but they may be similar, and how they were able to navigate their way around it and still make living. So the story might be the same. Like I told you, please, if you are joining the channel for the first time, or do well to subscribe, like, and drop a fire emoji so I could know you are following the discussion. Okay, like I said, it's just going to be a 15-minute chat, this morning breakfast chat. I'm not going to exceed that time. It's already 15 to 16 minutes, so I won't want to waste much of our time. So that was how I was able to, one, I told you how earlier how I was able to make a million naira for the first time, and then secondly how I was able to live above a certain stage of my life, a very troublesome, turbulent stage of my life after NYSC, 11 months in a local environment in Nasarawa State, and then straight to the city for me to take up this particular job. But when I first started it, I wasn't being paid salary in the first 3 months. I was living on a casual basis. I was just volunteering, but because of the determination, the hard work I put through within that first 3 months, I was now regularized. So everyone has his or her story, okay, and it may be glittering now for others, but yours may not be like that. So it's for you to be able to manage your troublesome time and then try to find your feet at the end. All right, my name is John Taylor. Please, after this live stream, if you come across the video, do well to subscribe, like, and drop your comments so I could know how the conversation was able to help you. Thank you very much. Good morning once again, and bye for now.